Unit 5. Culture Clashes. Tape script 5.1. 1.
Goodness, did you see that sign? What on earth does it mean?
No idea. Do you think there's a river at the bottom of this hill?
Yeah, a river full of crocodiles.
Yes, but it seems they only eat people in wheelchairs.
Weird. Well, we'll see.
2.
You're holding everyone up.
Look, I'm new to this. I can't see how to...
Read the sign.
I can't make sense of it. How can I hold my poles and do that at the same time? It's not possible.
Well, everyone else can manage it.
Ow! Ow! Oh, I give up. I'm going up on the cable car.
Good idea. You do that.
3.
Ow! Careful! It's a built-up area. You're going too fast.
I am not.
You are! We've just gone over another one. I nearly hit my head on the roof. Take them more slowly.
I am.
You're not! Oh! Oh, thank goodness for that. We're on the open road again.
Why don't you just...
4.
Hey, slow down. I want to look out for ostriches.
Huh? Ostriches? You won't see any here.
Well, that sign said we might.
No, it didn't. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't an ostrich.
Well, it looked like one to me.
5.
Ugh, look at these traffic queues.
Lines. Remember, we're in the States.
Okay. I told you it wasn't a good idea to set out in the rush hour.
Don't I told you so me. Just tell me which line to join.
Not that one. We're paying cash.
Why not?
I think it's a drive-through lane. Try that one over there.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. This is the right...
6.
Why would that be banned?
Well, obviously it's bad for you.
But it's just a nut.
Not just any nut. I believe it's addictive and carcinogenic, and it makes your teeth red.
Ugh.
Didn't you see that guy in that cafe we stopped at? His whole mouth was red.
Yeah, I saw that, but I thought he must have bleeding gums and just needed a trip to the dentist.
Tape script 5.2. Papua New Guinea.
Papua New Guinea is located in the southwest Pacific Ocean, just north of Australia. Its population currently stands at approximately 7.5 million. This is made up of over 700 different tribes. Many of these are in the isolated mountainous interior, or the rainforest, and therefore have little contact with one another, let alone with the outside world. This is one of the reasons why Papua New Guinea is linguistically the world's most diverse country, with over 800 languages spoken, 12% of the world's total. 82% of its people live in rural areas with few or no facilities or influences of modern life. Cannibalism and headhunting were widely practiced until as recently as the 1950s, and polygamy is still part of the culture. It is still possible to buy a wife with seashells or pigs. Papua New Guinea has strong ties with its southern neighbour, Australia, which administered the territory until independence in 1975. The government is led by an elected Prime Minister in the National Parliament, but as the country is a member of the Commonwealth of Nations, Queen Elizabeth II is its head of state.
Tape script 5.3. 1.
I tried to repair my car, but I couldn't. It needs a mechanic.
2.
You look awful. Why don't you see a doctor?
Oh, I did. He just gave me some pills and told me to take things easy.
3.
Have you read this report?
No, I haven't, but I will.
4.
My car's being serviced at the moment. If it wasn't, I'd give you a lift. Sorry.
5.
I'm so glad you told Sue exactly what you thought of her, because if you hadn't, I certainly would have.
6.
I think I'll give Rob a ring.
You should. You haven't been in touch with him for ages.
7.
I went to a party last night, but I wish I hadn't. It was awful.
8.
My boyfriend insists on doing all the cooking, but I wish he wouldn't. It's inedible.
9.
Aren't you going to Portugal for your holidays?
Well, we might, but we're still not sure.
10.
Andy got drunk at Anne's party and started insulting everyone.
He didn't. Oh, that's so typical of him.
Tape script 5.4. 1.
You met my sister last night.
Yes, I did. She thought we'd met before, but we hadn't.
2.
It's a long journey. Take care on the motorway.
Don't worry. We will.
3.
Come on, John. It's time you were getting up.
Stop yelling at me! I am!
4.
The weather forecast said that it might rain this afternoon.
Well, we'll have to call off the tennis if it does.
5.
Did you get that job you applied for?
Yes, I did. And I really didn't think I would.
Tape script 5.5. 1.
Can you come round for a meal tonight?
Thanks very much. I'd love to.
2.
Did you post my letter?
Oh, I'm really sorry. I forgot to.
3.
I can't take you to the airport after all. Sorry.
But you agreed to.
4.
Was John surprised when he won?
He certainly was. He didn't expect to.
5.
Why did you slam the door in my face?
It was an accident. I really didn't mean to.
6.
You'll be able to enjoy yourself when the exams finish.
Don't worry, I intend to.
Tape script 5.6.
Mark's been to America and so have I. He likes travelling, and I do too. He doesn't speak Russian, and neither do I. He isn't married, and nor am I. He can't drive, and I can't either.
Things different.
He's tried windsurfing, but I haven't. He comes from a big family, but I don't. He didn't see the football match, but I did. He hasn't been to Australia. I have, though.
Tape script 5.7. Don't log off with Alan Dine. Part 1.
Hello?
Hello!
Hello, is this Brian?
Yes, this is Brian.
Hi, how are you?
I
first spoke with Brian 18 months ago.
I dedicate my lunch hour normally to chat with my girlfriend Anna that I met online. I was just browsing profiles in Russia and I stumbled across the most beautiful woman in the world.
But this was more than just a typical online romance. Do you speak Russian?
No, I'm learning to speak Russian.
And does Anna speak English?
No, not yet. She's trying to learn English too. So I began to chat with her using Google Translator.
That's how the relationship continued. Brian and Anna relying on online translation to communicate. Say that you were both lost in translation, but in fact you found each other through translation. This was the first of numerous conversations with Brian.
Hello?
Hello, Brian. The next time, he'd been to visit Anna in Russia.
It's something, let me tell you. It took me over 24 hours just to get there.
Did you feel that it all was exactly how you thought it would be in your mind?
Oh, yes. The physical, spiritual, mental connection, everything was there.
6 months later, hello,
Alan.
Brian had some big news for me.
We just decided we were going to get married, and
Anna and her 2 children will be leaving Russia and moving to America. And the amazing thing is, this whole relationship is still relying on online translation. Neither Brian nor Anna speak each other's languages.
she's left the only home she's ever known all her life, basically.
Anna and her children were on their way.
She's coming to a country where she's never been. She's never even been on an airplane before.
I spoke with Brian at the airport on the night of their arrival.
She should be here any minute, but it had to have landed.
They were all going to come over on a 3-month visa.
There's some people coming up the escalator here.
Anna has to get married to Brian within those 3 months. Otherwise, Anna and the children have to return to Russia.
And I still don't see... You guys coming from New York? No. Here she is! There she is! I missed her! Oh! I missed you too! Oh! She's here!
Brian, this is a very special moment.
Yes. Okay, well, she just told me to get off the phone. So, Al?
Well, Brian, may I wish you good luck, and I look forward to catching up with you shortly.
Okay. You can call me in the next few days, probably.
And it was then that I had an idea. I was thinking it would be a wonderful experience to visit you and Anna in Boise, Idaho.
Oh, wow.
To see you in person and to kind of capture your life with Anna now.
That would be interesting, yes.
But you never know, that might fit in to your wedding plans.
Yes, I think it would definitely take it up to the next level.
Brian set the wedding date for the 21st of September, and I booked the plane tickets so I could be there. But then I received a rather worrying message. So this is really big news.
Tape script 5.8. Part 2.
So this is really big news. The wedding that was planned for Saturday the 21st of September is now off.
Hello.
Brian, I got your message. It's big news.
It's a little bit difficult, but
yeah.
Well, unfortunately, we haven't made a lot of arrangements.
Tell me how you both made the decision to postpone the wedding.
I think the 21st was just a little bit too soon for her. She's been through a lot. She came halfway around the world. She's only been here just about a month and a half now. Just a little shy of a month and a half. And I think maybe perhaps things may not be as nice as she'd imagined, you know.
What is the cut-off point, Brian?
October 20th, I think, would probably be the 90-day cutoff.
The clock is ticking, isn't it, Brian?
Yes. And I hope that she doesn't have second thoughts.
But wedding or no wedding, the plane tickets have been bought. Boarding the plane, I had no idea quite how this story would unfold.
The aisleways by your feet will need to be cleared for our takeoff here out of London.
15 hours later.
And here I am, breathing Idaho air.
Hi, Anna. How are you?
Хорошо. Fine, thanks.
It soon becomes clear to me that it's not been easy for Anna in these first few months in the US.
Right now, she really hasn't been anywhere by herself. She's always had me with her.
So when you're at work?
When I'm at work, she pretty much stays at home.
Can you understand that?
I can understand. She has been through a big change, and I don't want to add any stress to her life.
Tape script 5.9. Part 3.
What have you got in that bag, Brian?
This is our wedding rings.
Brian and Anna are getting married. They've decided to go ahead with the wedding. But it's not quite the big day that Brian had originally planned.
We've got less than an hour to be in the courthouse.
It's going to be a very low-key affair. In the courthouse. It's all very casual. Both Anna and Brian are wearing jeans. It's an empty courtroom. The only people present at the wedding are Brian and Anna, Anna's 8-year-old son Ivan, myself, my producer, and the interpreter.
I promise.
I promise.
To be true to you.
To be true to you.
In good times.
And good times.
And in bad.
And in bad.
And then Brian had a surprise for us.
Alan Dean.
Both myself and my producer Lawrence were called upon to be official witnesses at the wedding.
And here? Yep.
I can't quite believe that from a random Skype conversation almost 2 years ago
Sign there.
that I'm now in Boise, Idaho, signing Brian and Anna's wedding certificate.
There's my signature. You're all set. You have witnessed. I've witnessed the wedding of Brian and Anna. There's a copy of your vow.
A wedding that would never have taken place without the advent of online translation.
Tape script 5.10. Peter.
I'm from Oxford, and a few years ago I went to work in Prague, and on my very first day there I set off to walk to work, and I came to this butcher's shop, and I casually glanced at the special offers board on the pavement outside. I couldn't believe my eyes. It read, "Zebra, 65 crowns per kilogram." For me, this was a big cultural difference. I'm no vegetarian and I'll eat almost any meat. I've no problem with veal or rabbit, but I do draw the line at endangered species. So I checked the board again, and it really did say zebra. I felt sick. I worried about it all the way to work. I'd always thought the Czechs were a civilized nation, and I wasn't sure what perturbed me the most, the idea of eating zebra or the fact that it was so cheap. 65 crowns was about £1.25. That's a kilo of zebra meat for less than a copy of a Sunday newspaper. Anyway, I got to my work and I introduced myself to the pretty young Czech receptionist. And I just had to find out if Czechs really did eat zebra. So I said, "What's Czech for zebra?" "Zebra," she said. "Why?" Oh dear. I was horrified. So I asked, "And it's a Czech delicacy?" "No," she said. "Of course not. Why?" "Well, outside the butcher's, it said zebra, 65 crowns per kilogram." She started laughing, and finally she said, "Did the Z have a hat check?" "A what?" I said. "A little hook, like this, above the Z." And she drew it for me. You see, zebra is Czech for zebra, but zebra, with a hat check above the Z, means ribs. And she pointed at her midriff to show me. I felt really foolish, but very relieved. The Czechs really are a civilized bunch after all. So much so that I'm still here 8 years later, and I'm married to Lenka. She's the pretty young receptionist.
Sarah.
I'm half Korean and half British, so I have a kind of dual identity. I was born in Seoul, in South Korea, but I've lived in England for years, and now I find whenever I go back to Korea, I'm faced with some unique cultural differences. I suppose I look about 80% Korean and 20% British, and Korean people are often a bit puzzled as to why I look slightly different from them. And one day the funniest thing happened in this respect. I was in a department store in Seoul, just browsing through some clothes, and this woman came up to me and she grabbed me by the arm and said, "Oh, please tell me, where did you get your nose done?" And I just looked at her and said, "What? What do you mean?" And I tapped my nose and felt very self-conscious. Then it struck me because actually in Korea, plastic surgery is quite a routine procedure. It's very common. There are plastic surgeons on every street corner, so this lady just assumed because my nose is a bit larger than usual, that I must have had plastic surgery done. I just said to her, "Oh no, sorry. Actually, my father gave me this nose. He's British."
Marie-Laure.
I find it's not at all exotic to be French here in London, but being English in Paris is still quite exotic, I think. And what are some of the cultural differences I found living here? Well, quite a few. The usual food differences. There's not a baker on every corner and... Okay, I like crisps, but in the supermarkets there are aisles of them in every flavour imaginable. Prawn, vinegar, chicken, chili, on and on. Who needs them all? Oh, and the English obsession with house prices. Yes, they have endless conversations about the prices of houses. Everyone wants to own a house, and what's weird to me is the way that they quantify the size of a house by giving the number of bedrooms and bathrooms, not its actual size in square feet or meters. Oh, and something else. I find it odd to leave a doctor's surgery without a prescription as long as your arm, or with nothing at all. That was a first for me.
Ethan.
I'm Australian, and about 6 years ago I spent 2 years living and working in Burma. Every day I'd catch a taxi to my work. Anyway, one day, not long after I arrived there, I got into this taxi, a beautiful, clean, shiny taxi. I sat down and I put my feet, well, it was difficult to find anywhere to put my feet, but I didn't look down, and the taxi started moving, luckily quite slowly. Suddenly I found my feet, because they'd started sort of running. It was the weirdest feeling. I looked down and my feet were actually on the road, and they had to run to keep up with the taxi. I looked again and saw a huge rusted hole in the floor of the taxi. My feet had gone straight through it. Quick as a flash, I pulled them back inside and positioned them firmly either side of the hole, but after that I noticed that a lot of the taxis had problems. They were really ancient cars, but their owners were really proud of them and kept them in beautiful condition where they could. But some things, like doors or floors, they couldn't replace. I couldn't imagine taxis like these being allowed in Sydney. There didn't seem to be any health and safety regulations in Burma, but the taxis did their job just fine. Maybe it's different now.
Tape script 5.11. Conversation A.
Who's the package for?
Nancy. It's her birthday on the weekend.
Yeah, I know. What did you get her?
A beautiful brown leather purse.
Awesome! She'll love it. I got her a gorgeous cashmere sweater.
She's a lucky girl. I want to mail it to her. Do you have her address?
I do, but I don't have the zip code.
Conversation B.
Who's the parcel for?
Nancy, it's her birthday at the weekend.
Yeah, I know. What have you got her?
A beautiful brown leather handbag.
Fabulous. She'll love it. I've got her a lovely cashmere jumper.
She's a lucky girl. I want to post it to her. Have you got her address?
I have, but I haven't got the postcode.
Tape script 5.12. 1.
Do you have the time?
Yeah, it's 5 after 4.
Did you say 5 till?
No, 5 after 4.
2.
What are you going to do on the weekend?
The usual stuff. Play soccer with my kids and rake the yard.
3.
Did you have a good vacation?
Yeah, real good.
How long were you away?
5 days in all. Monday through Friday.
4.
Where do you live?
We have a small apartment on the first floor of an apartment building downtown.
Do you have a yard?
No, we don't. Just a parking lot around the back.
5.
Did you see Meryl Streep's new movie yet?
Sure thing. She was awesome in it. She played this homely old woman who drifted around in her bathrobe all day.
Yeah, she's a great actor.
6.
Did they bring the check yet?
Yeah, they just did. But I can't read a thing. It's so badly lit in here. You need a flashlight.
7.
Do we need to stop for gas?
Sure do. Anyways, I need to use the bathroom.
8.
Did you enjoy the game?
Yeah, it was great. But we had to stand in line for half an hour to get tickets.
Tape script 5.13. 1.
Have you got the time?
Yeah, it's 4 past 4.
Did you say 5 too?
No, 4 past 4.
2.
What are you going to do at the weekend?
Oh, you know, the usual. Play football with my kids and do a bit of gardening.
3.
Did you have a good holiday?
Yeah, really good.
How long were you away?
5 days altogether, from Monday to Friday.
4.
Where do you live?
We've got a small flat on the ground floor of a block of flats in the city centre.
Have you got a garden?
No, we haven't. Just a car park at the rear.
5.
Have you seen Meryl Streep's new film yet?
I have. She was terrific in it. She played this plain old woman who drifted around in a dressing gown all day.
Yeah, she's a great actor.
6.
Have they brought the bill yet?
Yeah, they just have. But I can't read a thing. The lighting is so bad in here. You need a torch.
7.
Do we need to stop for petrol?
Yeah, why not? Anyway, I need to go to the loo.
8.
Did you enjoy the match?
Yeah, it was great. But we had to queue for half an hour to get tickets.